I'm working 9 to 5, this 9 to 5 don't work for me. I gotta find my way about this ain't how it's supposed to be. Feel like I'm settling for less, that's why I gotta leave. They may not understand it, it's not for them to see. Cause it's my vision and it's not yours, no. And you won't get it until reverse rolls around and around. I put my dreams on hold, you told me how that sound. I wish my dreams could pay cause I work for right now. Ain't had nobody yesterday gon' hold me down. While I chase these dreams and know my goals. Chase these dreams and know my...
So, Jose, I'm gonna ask you to come over here. Thank you, Jose, for coming on here.
Yeah, of course.
Because I know that like a lot of people see you like behind the scenes.
Yes.
But they don't really like know like exactly who you are. So Jose is my cameraman. He is the one that does all the content as far as the videos and the photography, which is wonderful. We've connected through Connie Leon, and so our first project was back in January 2020. And do you remember anything about that day? I remember something.
You had a magician. We were at the radio station.
Yeah.
We were able to get in there, and then it was a delay. It was a learning experience. One of them was, of course, a delay, which is definitely one of the skills that you have because you have a lot of people on here and you have to juggle everyone to get on the same page. So yeah, it was an interesting day, but it also was the start, the first one.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience because my guest, who was also a family friend, was like, an hour late?
I think it was an hour, yeah.
He was like an hour late, and he was like, can we reschedule? I was like, no.
We're
Sorry.
here.
I was like, we're here. You have to show up. And so that was really cool, though, because it all ended up working out pretty well in the end, even though there was a delay. But so we did have some people ask you questions.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question because, it can't just be about me.
Right.
I am just not that person. Okay. So how and why did you get into film?
It's film photography, social media in general. The start for me on that was a second business through my first profession. I was networking. The networking group I was with just thought and reached out and said, hey, I was one of the younger ones. They're like, hey, you look like you know how to do social media. So I was like, I have an idea of some sorts, yes. But I think mainly they just wanted content, something to show what they were doing and help tell their story and their why. So I think that's what sparked me buying my first camera.
Okay.
Because they had, in one of our meetings, they had an idea like, hey, let's do a fundraiser so we can get a camera for Jose so he could use and we'll keep it, yada, yada. I was like, no, I don't want to keep it. Like, I want one for myself. I want to learn this. And of course, I tell you a lot, when we teach, I was like, let's just go to YouTube University. There's a lot there. And that's how I learned a lot of the stuff too. I didn't have any formal training, but just messing around and playing. So in getting started, that was it. I think I started with that group where I picked up and bought my first camera. I started learning. I wanted to tell what that group, that networking was about, and then being able to showcase that on social media. And I think I learned a lot there, trying to just do that and get going with that group, and that's how kind of the second business, Pineapple Media, started.
That's really cool, because actually I've never heard him really talk about that. I've never even asked him. And the other cool thing is, I don't know if y'all noticed, the one thing he mentioned a lot of is he said, I started. So he didn't wait for anybody to show him or anything like that. He just started. He took an opportunity and started. And I encourage a lot of y'all out there, because a lot of people ask how did you start or why or what? And it's just once you start, you kind of just go through it and work as you learn as you go and grow, right?
Sure.
It's not something you're I know exactly what I'm going to be doing.
No, it's usually those ideas are festering within people for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, sometimes people take time and they want to learn and get it all right. I'm someone who probably doesn't do that, even though there's some steps that people should take to do that. But no, I think I don't like the term, but I'm pretty sure I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple other brands already.
Yes.
Besides for my profession, I have the media and then the leather working and all that,
yes.
and other things that I just like to start. And I'm someone who, just like you were telling people you learned, once you know some things about media and just starting a brand or social media, you can start that next big idea you have.
Yes. So there you go. There's your motivation right here. So I thank you so much, Jose. And we everybody always compliments me on the work that you do, because I always say, they say, we just love everything. And I said, yes, that's Jose, but I do all the editing. So
Yes.
we are a team to some extent. It's a skill set. But I have also learned a lot from Jose. So he's kind of been the person to teach me all the things that I know. And that was very helpful in the beginning, because in the beginning I was kind of like, I wanted to play around with it, but I wasn't really sure. And then once Jose gave me those tools to kind of say, okay, this is where you can start, then I really started to get into it on my own and just learn on my own. So
there's a little quote from Batman. I don't know if you have any Batman fans. One of the ones with Christian Bale from the Joker. It's the one that goes, badness is like gravity. All you need is a little push.
Yeah.
So I think that's all you needed.
Yeah.
And you might call it madness too, right? What
Right.
you're doing to people. But once you get going and you have that little push, either from yourself or from someone, that's all it takes. Because Desiree has been able to, from little things as complicated as editing is, she's been able to grasp it. And like she says, she plays with it and really create what she's been able to create.
Yeah. So thank you, Jose.
Of course.
And we are going to go on to the next questions.
Okay.
But if y'all ever need any content, here is somebody that is available. I don't keep him all to myself. He is available. So Pineapple Media Productions, social media, where else can they reach you?
On Pineapple Media Productions. Of course, I do have the other one, my profession, my main personal one, the at Your Nonverbals, which is informative in education to another. And I'm looking to kind of merge those more too, because people being in front of a camera, body language and presenting themselves, for marketing and all that, I need to put some more stuff on that too. So
I think that's a
on
great
any of
idea.
those platforms, yes.
That's a great idea.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Thank you to our sponsors for all the love and support.